Hello, everyone. William here from 222 Productions here in Greensboro, North Carolina, home of the National Ninja League Season 5 World Championship. And joining me this time is a man who doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway because that's what I do. He is one of the few people to reach the final stage in the main season of American Ninja Warrior, and he is surely the man with the greatest hair in the entire field. He is the Kingdom Ninja, Daniel Gil. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing really well. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. So let's just cut straight to the chase. Final stage. How were you feeling before you climbed? How are you feeling going into it?
Man, more pumped than I had ever been before, and that's what a lot of ninjas we can't really prepare for. We train all year to complete, course after course after course, but Vegas is where it all comes down to the climax of all of our training. The culmination is that. And there we do stage one night, and then stage 2, 3, and 4 typically are all done in one night, and most people don't know that. Now last season, because we had so many people complete stage 2, it pushed filming back a full night. So we ended up doing stage 3 and stage 4 in one evening. And normally that would be a good thing, but considering I was the last runner on stage 3, got the biggest pump that I had ever had in my entire life, and as soon as I came down, I learned the hard way that sometimes it's a little bit more of a production than it is a competition, for better or for worse. So as soon as I finished stage 3, they said, hey guys, we're a day behind in filming schedule. We've already swapped over all the cameras and the audience and everything. We're going to need to do stage 4 like right now. And so I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm like praying. I'm like, well, God, I got to stage 4, but my arms are so pumped right now that I'm just going to give it my absolute very best. And I've read my Bible, and I'm like, God, you can either give me supernatural strength like Samson or supernatural speed like Elijah, or you can have an angel pick me up, and if you need me up that rope, you can get me up there. I said, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do my very best and show people either what it looks like to win or what it looks like to lose gracefully. And, ending with 3 seconds left on the clock was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, I'm the most competitive person that I know, so that wasn't fun, but you live and you learn. When you fall down, you get back up, and when you fail, you try again. So here I am training hard, and I'm ready for this new season.
So had you had gotten more rest, do you think you could have at least completed the final stage within the time limit?
Yes, I do, but now I'm training with less rest. In case something like that happens again.
Right, okay, makes sense. So this was actually your second time reaching stage 3. Mm-hmm. I want to talk a little bit about the first time you made it to stage 3. That cliffhanger, I don't think a lot of people realize how difficult that transfer that you fell on was. Can you just explain to people, because you're the expert who experienced it, can you just explain to people how difficult that transfer used to be?
Yeah, so that was back in season 8. So my second season, when Drew and I were the only two that completed stage 2, moved on to stage 3. And me, to give a little background, I grew up playing sports, grew up doing hundreds of thousands of pull-ups, but never did any rock climbing. So my fingertips were my weaknesses. And I say were because once you find out what your weaknesses are, you isolate them and you grow them. But going into stage 3 that season, season 8, making the transfer across, and then they had one more sideways, lache. Mm-hmm. Looking at the course from the ground, I thought it was completely side to side, horizontal. Right. But being on the course itself, I didn't realize, because it's made of plexiglass and you could see through the obstacle, I didn't realize that it was actually forward. It was a diagonal move. Right. And so when I got there, I had already built up my swing side to side, went to look at where I was going to jump to, and then noticed that it wasn't just sideways, it was diagonal. It was forward a bit. So then I get myself spinning into a helicopter and landed it wrong, and learned to make, if that happened again, I was like, I need to have strong enough fingers to correct any mistakes that I make. So that's why when I got there this last season, fingers felt great, cliffhanger felt good. It helped that they didn't have an awkward diagonal move on it. But you live and you learn, You grow from every experience, especially the failures.
Right. Okay. So you got to compete on both Power Towers this year. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What would you say difficulty-wise,
Yeah.
what would you say were the more difficult of the two, as well as the more difficult of the two opponents? Well, obviously Batiste was because he beat you, but just in terms of just that mental pressure of like going back to against each other directly, as well as this this up and down course. Like, how difficult was that tower?
It was more mentally difficult than physically, because you are so much higher than on any other course on American Ninja Warrior, and you don't have any type of harness on. So climbing Mount Midoriyama, you've got a full body harness. Doing the power tower, like 50 feet in the air, you've got just like a huge inflatable mat, but you still fall to that if you fall. And so mentally it was more challenging than it was physically. The courses themselves weren't very difficult. I mean, they were designed to be done quickly. The only difference was, especially the second night when I went against the kid, that's where the technique that you use really plays a huge factor. Because thinking back on the monkey bars that we had, they had like the bungee monkey bars. My technique was like it would be in any other course, was to get through it quickly but efficiently, saving as much energy. So I straight armed those monkey bars thinking I could just gorilla skip a few, when in reality, if you're doing a speed course or doing that course for time, bent arms and just powering through it is the way to get through it quicker. And again, it's one of those moments where you think, okay, I have to be ready, not just physically, but I have to know and understand what type of course I'm running. Is this an endurance course where I don't have to worry so much about the time, I just have to complete it? Or is this a speed course where the obstacles are a little bit easier and I just have to find the quickest way to get through those? So I learned from that mistake, and hopefully we'll bring it into this next season. And here at the National Ninja League Worlds, because they got all the speed challenges here.
Yeah, it's a fast course this year. Kind of just, I don't know, let's just take a quick look and admire that. What are you thinking of this particular course this year?
Man, it's going to be fast. It's going to be over quickly for a lot of ninjas, but I think it'll be a fun race regardless.
It's good. So you mentioned earlier about God and praying and all that. One of the things that the show has highlighted is how involved you've been with your community and your church and stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've done some traveling and speaking at different churches. What is that experience like, getting to travel from location to location and sharing your experience with people?
Oh man, to me that has become my favorite thing about Ninja Warrior, is the platform that it has given me. So it's not just me enjoying running on the courses and winning prize money and just the whatever level of celebrity status that it gives me. That part's fun, but what's incredible is the legacy that I know that myself and all the other ninjas, especially those of us who are well known on the show, we get to lead that legacy. So many kids come up to us, whether we're at the airports or at the stores, and just say, hey, we watch you on TV, we love you, and I love to take the time to share with every single person that I come across. And because I've done well on the show for the last 5 seasons, I've had opportunities to go and share my story of how I got onto American Ninja Warrior, what it's like to train, what the experience has been for me at different churches and summer camps and youth groups and things like that. And because I'm a worship leader back home at my home church, Dwelling Place Church back in Houston, it makes it so much more meaningful for me as a believer to get to, share my story. And Matthew 6:33 is where I get Kingdom Ninja from. It's where Jesus told his disciples, if you seek first the kingdom of God and to live righteously, then all these things, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to wear, like God will provide those. Our focus is to focus on him and loving God and loving people. So I love the platform that Ninja Warrior has given me, and I'll continue traveling and speaking as long as I can.
That's great to hear. That's really great. All right, so I ask everyone this. Did you apply for this year?
I did.
All right. So knowing where you're located, they wouldn't have called you yet.
Correct.
So this year, will we see a total victory from you?
That's the plan. That is the plan. I mean, physically, yes, I'm there. I've fixed whatever hiccups or mistakes or things that I saw from last season. So now it's just, in a way, the luck of the draw, in a sense, because we don't know what obstacles we'll get. So I'm like, Lord, I prepared myself physically. Now I'm just praying for a good course and a fun season. It's going to be indoors this year for my region, where they're sending all the Texas ninjas. So looking forward to it, and if all things go according to plan, I will be atop that mountain again this year.
All right, that sounds like a plan. One final question, and I'd be remiss not to ask it because I've been asked a few times. Did you get to keep the flying bar?
No, I didn't.
That's a shame. Even after he took it with you to the finishing platform.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think I speak for everyone. We say we look forward to seeing how you do this season, and we're hoping nothing but the best for you. Thank you very much for joining me this time around, and thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more videos just like this. Follow him on his social media, link in the descriptions down below. And thank you all very much for watching. See you later.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.